Okay, awesome. Okay, I'm going to jump straight into the questions because the WPL starts in an hour and I'm sure we all want to watch that. Let's see here. My question to you is what is the, we need to fix our spelling there. What is the E thing that South Africa is missing? In the fear of pressure, you want me to answer that question? That's like already the most depressing question ever, but okay. What are we missing? I don't know. Tell me in the comments, what do you think we're missing? I think it's just one big mental hurdle. And I think maybe sometimes, I think Indians, you can understand this when you didn't have a trophy for, I think, over 10 years or something. How long did it take you to win that T20 trophy? Sometimes I think players just have to go out and play their individual game. You know, like we saw with India in the final, we saw Kohli coming out, great individual performances. So I think if South Africans, if the Proteas focus on, you know, each just individually doing what they do well, then maybe, you know, maybe we can surprise people. Nokia is missing. It's a big concern. I think for New Zealand now as well, Lockie Ferguson. I think on those flat pitches, you would really like to have a guy who can bowl 150 clicks, you know, some really dangerous bounces. My friend told me you call it perfume balls. I don't know if tell me if you've heard of the phrase perfume balls. So I think Nokia is a big miss, and I'm a bit concerned because Corbin Bosch didn't have the best match. But let me know in the comments, who would you choose, Ngidi or Corbin Bosch? Ngidi or Corbin Bosch for South Africa? Geez, there's one guy is asking 5 million questions here. Who will be the leading run getter in CT25? So Michael Clark said Rohit Sharma. My feeling is I think the new ball is going to be difficult. It's the only time it's going to be difficult. So I'm thinking a middle order batter. Gill looks very good, but we'll have to see how he does in Dubai. I'm going to go with, Virat Kohli was the leading run getter in the T20 World Cup. I'm going to go with Stephen Smith is a option. No, Joe Root or Stephen Smith. And I'm going to throw out for South Africa, Rassie van der Dussen. And I think Gill or Kohli. I think middle order batters. My name is Tanja, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, I think Shreyas Iyer is going to have a very big tournament. I think he can do well. He's also one of the guys that I would watch. The question is he going to play? Because I saw some people saying that they want punt over KL Rahul. So do they then keep Indians? What is the issue with playing two wicket-keeper batters in your side? I just want to know that, because I know the rest of us don't have an issue with that. Why can't you play two wicket-keeper batters? That's always been a big question for me. Kane Williamson. Bill Clinton. What a name you've got there, sir. Yes, Kane Williamson is also somebody that could probably do well, but I think Daryl Mitchell for me is he's the better player. Rohit was the leading run scorer. Really? Rohit was the leading run scorer. Oh, yes, of course. Kohli was the man of the match of the last match. Gambhir needs more all-rounders. Yeah, I think the Indian team is pretty good the way it is. I think for most teams, I think the bowling department is a bit of a concern. What do you think of the Australian bowlers? Anybody, the replacements? Who would you pick as your Australian bowlers? Because now you know they're missing Pat, they're missing Stark, they're missing Hazelwood. Who would the three bowlers be that you would choose? Other than online. They want a new team. Yeah. There might be a chance that Kohli and Rohit might retire after this. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just wondering if they'll still play Test cricket after this, because they haven't won a World Test Championship. Gurbaz was, everybody is correcting me here. Yes, Ramanullah Gurbaz was the leading run getter. Afghanistan is a big team that people are talking about. Who do you think is going to make it to the semi-finals, the playoffs? Do you think Afghanistan has a chance? Is more dangerous than Pakistan, but they failed to defend. Yeah, but I think with that bowling attack, you didn't have Rabada, you didn't have Janssen, so we didn't really have any of our power play bowlers, and I think the power play is going to be key for the fast bowlers because the pitches in Pakistan are really flat. Yeah, I'm happy that somebody else is calling it the semis. Kanishk, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yeah, I mean, my 4 teams that I think could make it through, I think tomorrow's match is a very big match, Pakistan versus New Zealand. I think whoever wins that match has a very big chance of getting through. We've seen New Zealand, they've troubled India in the past, so New Zealand can beat India. Pakistan, I don't know if their team is, if there are any Pakistanis out there. I don't know if the team is complete enough to beat India, but it's a ICC event, so anything could happen. What time is it here in South Africa? It's 9 minutes past 3 p.m. What time is it there? Where are you all coming from? Usually people start the videos with that. Where are you all from? Are you from India, Pakistan? Do I have an Aussie here? That would be amazing. Bill Clinton, are you perhaps a Kiwi, a New Zealander? Well, if I were the only I see yes, we've only won this trophy, and that was, am I correct, 2009? Yes, we are. Our cabinet is very empty. It's very, very empty. I'm partly an Arsenal fan as well, so I need my teams to start winning. SA in Afghanistan. Dave, you're a New Zealander. Welcome. Yes, I think New Zealand has a good shot in this tournament. I think Lockie is a big miss, but I think you are quite blessed with a lot of, new quick bowlers. I'm a really big fan of Will O'Rourke. Every format that he's been playing, he's been doing really, really well. So do you know Ab Crick? Tell me about him. Lahore pitch. Hansi Cronje. I actually did a podcast this morning and we spoke about Hansi Cronje. Probably the best captain that South Africa ever had. He went too soon. I wish that Graham Smith was also a very good captain, a great test captain. So yeah, miss Hansi Cronje. He had such a great tactical mind for the game, and I was so young. So I wish I actually could have seen him when I was older. Quota system in cricket. I think that's a question that a lot of people ask. Let me hope that I answer that question correctly. The controversial quota system in South African. I think that we are at a point now where the best players are being picked. I think that you want to get as many kids from all realms of life playing the sport. Remember, it's also a tough conversation because in South Africa, rugby is the main sport. So it's also a difficult thing to tackle, a system of how you pick players, because I just think in South Africa, most kids end up playing football or rugby. Cricket actually isn't such a big thing in South Africa. I think if I can go back to Dave there, in New Zealand as well, rugby is probably also the main. Matthew White's an Aussie, so Matthew might also understand. I don't know. Aussie football, is that probably a bigger sport? It's tough in South Africa because cricket isn't the main sport. So I hope that kind of answers the question. Oh, Bill is from the UK. Interesting. But yeah, thank you for that question. I don't know how, I should probably know a bit more about this, but I don't know how much the quota system is in play. I know a few years back it was a big thing. I'm not sure if it is still now. Yeah, the England team, hey, interesting. I think that people are writing off the England team, but to be honest, I think because they're playing in Pakistan, I think England, if they score 400 runs plus, yeah, here we go, England. Yeah, I think because it's in Pakistan, they can get away with baseball because it's Pakistan, and a lot of the players, Brooke especially loves playing in Pakistan. So I think with England, I think everybody has an issue with bowlers. For me, England, I don't know, Mark Wood and Jofra Archer, they've got some really good bowlers, but I think accuracy is going to be key. I think England have a shot. I think they can score a lot of runs and then possibly defend it, or they're usually a good chasing team. But if you're asking me about baseball, no, I'm definitely not a fan of baseball. And I think it's ruining England's cricket, test cricket. England is a very big, powerful test nation. I think it's ruined their test cricket. And instead of sacking Baz McCullum, they gave him a promotion, made him coach of the white ball team. So that was a bit shocking for me. I thought that, in football, we know this. If the managers don't do well, they get sacked, not promoted. Yeah, so that's a bit of a shock to me. Do Conway and Glenn Phillips, yeah, they're from South Africa. Geez, and Marnus Labuschagne, also from South Africa. Maybe if England get a couple of South Africans in their side again, things might turn up. We're thinking of Strauss, we're thinking of KP. So a lot of teams actually, they've got some of our players, and yeah, the players, they all had their reasons to leave. What do I think? Semi-final. Yeah, for India after 19, where they played with 4 wicket keepers, they never went. Sometimes the wicket keepers are, honestly, they're really good batters, and they're all against, most of them are very good against spin. So I don't understand I'm pretty sure South Africa are going to play Rickleton and Klaasen. So there you've got 2, I think we always play 2, sometimes even 3 wicket keepers because they're just really good batters. I think England do it as well. Often they pick more than one. England, yeah, Butler, Salt, there we go, more than one wicket keeper. Yes, Glenn is from South. I also think Glenn might have a big tournament because finally he scores his first ODI 100. He could be very key with the ball as well. Also, you just have to love Glenn's attitude. I'm a big fan of Glenn's attitude. South Africa's squad for the Champions Trophy. I don't know if anybody else agrees with me, but I really would have liked to see George Linder in the squad. He has proven himself in the South African bilaterals. Matthew Britzka, really good Tri-Nations series. Is that Tri-Nations? Am I thinking of rugby here? Tri-series. So a couple of people missed out. How do you rate Markram as a captain? I'd give him I love Aiden Markram. I'm a big Aiden Markram fan. Everybody's got a cricketer where even if at some point in their life they're playing not so good cricket, you still want to defend them. I feel that way about Aiden Markram. How do I rate him as a captain? Probably an 8 or 7 because he doesn't always lead from the front as a captain. He's a really good batter, but I feel like he started doing that a bit in the SA20 where he gives himself time, and he should be the batter that wants to bat till the end of the inning. So if he just takes a bit more responsibility, I would rate him higher. Yeah, I saw a big round. I think the SA20, I promise you, a lot of people go there and they're not really cricket fanatics, can I put it that way? Where I think if people go to cricket in England, everybody knows the cricket. You see people, by the way, what's that thing people put in their ear? Is that to listen to the commentary? You see people that, really know about their cricket, but in South Africa, it's like a party. So I think that's another way to get people in for the T20 format is you kind of turn these T20 events into a party with a DJ. People are on the grass, having a vibe, having a dance. How did your love for cricket start from? So yeah, cricket isn't so big in South Africa, and that's also why I think if we start winning some trophies, people will get a hell of a lot more into the game, because some people, I can tell you, after 1999, I think a lot of people's hearts broke. Like my mom loved cricket and she stopped watching after that day. So if we can just start winning a trophy or two or three or four, you get people a bit more interesting. Wait, I saw a question that I really liked here now. Damn it, Captain. Champions Trophy semi-finalist. I'm happy we're all calling it semi-finals. Thank you. India, New Zealand. Group B is tough. Australia will top. I'm going to remember your name, Saniba. Saniba Pandi. Australia will top. Great batting lineup for Australia. They still have all of their batters. Will England lose all the matches? Wow. Okay. Kind of almost want to take a picture of this prediction here. It's very interesting. I might steal your prediction. Jokes. Interesting that. How did my love for cricket start? Aussies. I think there's only one. Turn away. Because my love for cricket started when I think I was 8 or 9. I was very young. You need to go and research. South Africa toured Australia. So this is definitely in the 90s, I think, or maybe early 2000s. And my grandmother, I have so many cousins. I don't know what it is with my dad's brothers and sisters. They love having children. There's like 6 here, 5 there, 4 there. I mean, there's like a colony of cousins that I have. And my grandmother, my brother and I were not favorites of my grandma. And then one day I saw my grandpa sitting in front of the TV away from all the noise watching cricket. And so I thought, well, if my grandma isn't a fan of me, maybe my grandfather will. And I started watching cricket with him, and oh, wow, does he hate Australia? I mean, the definition of somebody hating, like with passion, my grandfather. So my journey with cricket, I was taught very early on to dislike Australia very much. And I even woke up at 4 in the morning. I think I had coffee and I was like 8, 9. And yeah, so that's where it started with Test cricket. So my favorite format is Test cricket. By the way, what are your favorite formats? Tell me, are you an ODI person? Are you a Test person? Are you a T20 person? Do I have some lockdown kids in here? The phrase lockdown kids. Tell me, what's your favorite format? Thank you for the love. I didn't even know that exists. Okay, this is my Stubbs out of playing 11, baby. I don't think Stubbs will be in the 11 now. I think they will prefer Rassie van der Dussen. That's the correct pronunciation. I think they will prefer Rassie over him because Rassie has a very impeccable ODI record. What do you think? Do you think Rassie or do you think Stubbs? Who would you put in there? Test cricket always. There we go. There's my person. Arjun. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, Test cricket. These are my kind of people. Mulder. Vian Mulder. Okay. I'm going to be honest. When Vian came on the scene, this was probably, he was very young, 2021. I wasn't no, I was actually a big fan. Sorry. I was a big fan of him. I thought he's one of those typical bowlers that, bowls 130, but he can really swing the ball, which I think it's very underrated. People want you to, swing the ball and bowl it in the 140s. I thought Mulder was quite interesting. But then he went through a bit of a dip and there were a lot of players that were just better than him. And now I feel like he's proven himself in the Test format, especially. He's good in T20 as well. But I just think we need bowlers, and I think Corbin Bosch would be more threatening than Mulder because we don't have that. He's more of a like-for-like replacement for Nortje or Coetzee, but I like Mulder a lot. Will other teams be comfortable playing India? What do you mean comfortable as in, will they be comfortable in Dubai or will they be comfortable as in they think they can beat India? I think with Bumrah not being there, you have to admit, Indians, that everybody feels incredibly confident in beating India. Because Bumrah, as we've seen in the test arena, as we've seen in the T20 World Cup, Bumrah is your trump card. He's your secret weapon. So I think because of that, people feel confident. At least I do. I hope so. Favorite batsman and bowler from India, considering they have to move to another country. Yeah, I'm making a video about that. So you can watch the space on Instagram, because I'm just surprised that nobody, okay, comfortable in Dubai. This is actually a very good topic, and I really like it. I think it's a super unfair advantage. And I'm surprised that the two other big three nations, Australia and England, I'm surprised that they didn't have an issue with it. But obviously, it's a big advantage for India because the rest of us, we have to travel. New Zealand, and imagine playing, if some of you are cricketers, imagine playing an ODI match, which is like the whole damn day, and now you have to travel from Dubai back to Pakistan, or from Pakistan, you now have to travel to Lahore or Karachi or to Dubai. Also, different conditions for other teams, where India will always have the same conditions. So definitely, massive advantage for India. Yeah, I mean, I've spoken a bit about it. Nobody has spoken about it, which I'm quite surprised by, but somebody will in the tournament. As soon as somebody loses against India, I'm sure it'll come up. But I mean, you have to admit it's a big advantage. ICC with now in the Champions Trophy, how far can they go? I prefer South Africa on pitches that actually help bowlers. I think Australia the same. We come from locations where the ball, we like spice in the pitch. We like bouncy pitches with carry, and our bowlers are used to bowling those kind of lengths. And so that I'm not a big fan of. But again, I think South Africa and Australia both have really good batters. Like the top six is really, really good. So I think we have a chance. I do think Afghanistan is a very big threat. And I will say that I'm nervous playing them first on Friday. I'm very nervous about playing them first because you don't want to start a short tournament. I mean, this tournament is so damn short with a loss, because then you have to win England and Australia. So yeah, a bit nervous about that. Safety issues. Yeah. Let me just mention, I understand 100% why India don't want to go to Pakistan. If people don't feel safe, you cannot put players' safety at risk. I would never want anything to happen to any cricket player. I'm also not saying that something will happen to people going to Pakistan, but you have to do what's best for the players. The only thing that I hoped would have happened was I hoped that India might have traveled at least to Sharjah, because those tracks spin like mad. And I would have loved if India at least traveled to Abu Dhabi. But India is only playing in one location. So I thought that could have been planned a bit better to make it a bit more of a challenge. But here we are. It is what it is. We will go on. Yeah, wee woos. Where are you from, buddy? WE was, yeah, India have a huge advantage. We can't argue against it. So now, India, they have to pretty much win the tournament with that advantage. I will say, this is my interesting point. I will say for India, I actually think that their batters would have scored, they would have loved the pitches in Pakistan. From what I saw, India, Karachi, Lahore, your guys, your batters would have eaten up opposition if you played in Pakistan. But so yeah, I think it's going to be tougher to play in Dubai. So let's hope everything balances out. But my goodness, can you imagine Rohit Sharma in Karachi? That guy will score. He could score 100 every single match. What do I think of Siraj being left out? Yeah, Afghanistan, I think they've got a chance to go. I think big loss for Siraj. I think that Look, I'm a big fan of Arshdeep Singh, so I obviously think that he should be there. And Shami, you can't pick him above Shami. And then I think that India picked all of those spinners for a reason. I think it's going to turn in Dubai. So I think having the two spinning options and then three quicks, possibly then a third spinning option, I think that's the way to go. So let him rest. He's bowled the most overs in 2024. He has to be tired. You don't want him to get injured now as well. So tough luck for Siraj, but he can use it as motivation. Hi, I'm Ankit, rooting for South Africa. Thank you, cool Ankit. We need all the fans we can get. As I said, our people, I don't even know how many people in South Africa are going to be watching this Champions Trophy, if I'm being 100% honest. Bold prediction, India versus SA final. I said that to somebody in a podcast this morning, but I'm kind of regretting it because I'm not sure. I think anything can happen in this tournament because everybody's got so many injuries. You don't know what players are. Yeah, possibly. Are you a millionaire? Not at all. I can't even afford a proper camera for my. Geez, I would love to be a millionaire. No, I'm in a phase of my life where I am. Oh, you're probably looking at my house. This isn't my house. I'm visiting my mother. My mother is retired. Yeah, you're probably looking at the chandelier over there. How do I rate Gambhir as a coach? I think he's very stubborn and arrogant, and I think that a leader, it's kind of a bit like Baz McCollum. I don't think leader should be that stubborn, or I guess you can use the word arrogant, because naming a style of cricket that's based on a number 5, number 6 way of batting after you, and then expecting the whole team to bat like that, Bazball, that's quite arrogant. So I'm not a big fan of them. I mean, they don't admit to their mistakes. We saw with the BGT, the chefs were blamed, the family was blamed, the chauffeurs, the men who drive the cars. Everybody was blamed except Gambhir, where Gambhir, he didn't pick stalwarts like Pujara or Ajinkya Rahane. I don't think he picked the right bowlers. He didn't have a single left arm bowler, and all of the lefties in Australia's batting order. So he just got off of that fine. Nobody blamed Gambhir, but I'm going to be honest, I blame him. So I don't know what all of you think of that, but I'm not the biggest fan of Gambhir, but we'll see. Do I know if SABC? Oh my shit. I won't trust, guys. SABC is a South African broadcast channel, but my goodness, you pay like nothing. You pay like $1 a month for SABC. I don't know if SABC is going to broadcast. Hopefully, DSTV. I will give you. Let me do this. Did that? Type in that. Type in that on your computer, and it will give you cricket matches. I promise you. Type in that. Go and find the cricket match that you need to watch. I need all of my South Africans in there. If you're a South African, Haaland, not a fan of your name, Haaland over there, but there's a channel for you to watch. Hello, hi, E. Chatan. Gambhir is a good coach in white ball cricket. Yeah. I'd give him, yeah. I think in T20. But then again, it's hard to not be a good coach in T20 when you have all of the Indian talent that you have in T20 cricket. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can go and coach your T20 side and we might still win because India are just really, really good in that format right now. I want to travel to India. I want to go to Australia. I want to go to Australia. I'd have to stay in the city. I think the wildlife there is probably very beautiful, but I have enough snakes in South Africa. I'm not going to another place being scared of snakes. So, and those big spiders, guys. Oh, spiders with me. I will be out back to the airport on the plane. So I want to visit I want to visit the West Indies, Sri Lanka. This is a good question, actually. What is your Dharamshala in India? What is your cricket destination that you would like to see one day, that you would like to go to? Please let me know. Maybe I've missed something. In New Zealand, there's also apparently a beautiful place. Basically, Gambhir is there for the formalities. Somebody's agreeing with what I'm saying. Yeah, India have the lowest injuries, or the least amount of injuries, but they have the biggest injury of all. Jasprit Bumrah. So that's pretty huge, India. It's nice because it balances the tournament. Prettiest fan. Yeah, don't worry. I look, I'm seeing that, I think ESPN, I'm seeing a lot of people putting out their XI for South Africa. Lungi Ngidi is not in my starting 11. He's not in my starting 11. He hasn't played a lot of competitive cricket in the last few months. You know, in the SA20, he also didn't play too many matches. He needs to, outside of this, a big ICC tournament, he needs to go and play a bit more competitive cricket, I think. Zorzi, yeah. I think Zorzi is a good ODI player, also a very good test player, but I prefer Rickleton. I think Rickleton with his 200s, I think his SA20, I think Ryan Rickleton should open the batting with Temba. Dude, why are you bringing up the Netherlands here? The Netherlands are not in this tournament. What are you doing, Matthew? Where are you from? Yeah, everybody's got this bogey team where they just, even in the T20, I think World Cup, we almost lost to the Netherlands again. Almost. I don't know what it is with the Netherlands. That's the question I cannot answer to you, because that's just the beautiful nature of cricket. Because I was just going to say, you don't see a rugby team like South Africa lose to somebody like Japan, but oh shit, we've lost to Japan. So things happen in sport, guys. Things happen. Oh, Matthew's from Australia. Of course you are. Yeah, we almost lost to Nepal. Ooh, is this the part of the video where we start roasting each other? Let's go for it. Ma'am, you should start cricket commentary. I have no idea. Do you mean live matches? Is that what you mean? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rassi van Edissen could be in at number 3. Aiden Markram, number 4. Who needs to be dropped from after the champs? So the Dewald Brevis. Oh, that's a tough question. We have some really good batters right now. Look, I don't think Rassi has many years left. So if you think Rassi, but then Stubbs needs to come back in. Temba also doesn't have too many years left. So, I mean, if you look at it that way, you're probably thinking Brevis, Stubbs. Luandre Pretorius, that's another guy who's just been incredible. Klaasen is going to be the man of the tournament. Somebody speaking my language. He's been very consistent, Klaasen. 4 ATs, I think. Look, the thing with Klaasen, and I said it this morning, he doesn't look like teams could actually dismiss him. Every time he goes out, it's when he gives his wicket away. So it's going to be interesting to see him and Miller together. I'm very excited for him and Miller. Chethal, please explain to me who that is. Is he from the UAE? Are you talking to me about the ILT20 now? Because I didn't really follow that. I obviously follow my own tournament, the SA20. Top 5 of what? Who is this Duke? Duke, my data person. KL or punt in India playing 11 versus New Zealand? Probably they'll stick with KL Rahul. I'm just concerned for India if they have enough finishing power at the end. Do you guys believe that Hardik Pandya and Jadeja, maybe, is that enough to really capitalize on the final overs? I don't know if KL has the gears. Then you've got Shreyas Iyer as well. But what if you lose Shreyas? Then you've only got Hardik. and Jadeja. So if you had Punt, yeah, but Punt's not been doing good, well, in international white ball cricket. He's just not been. He's not been good. He's good in the IPL, but he's not been good. Character from. Okay, I will have to check that out when I post. Explain to me who it is. Jathalhal. Explain to me who that is. Thank you, Manjot Singh. We got in-depth batting. Yeah, you do. But do you have enough power? Do you have enough power? Why you got this much cricket knowledge? Thank you, guys. A bit of compliments is always nice. Aiden Markram. Yeah. This is something I'm hearing a lot, but I feel like, do you guys agree with me? I feel like there are people out there. I don't know if it's Sunrisers fans. You need to tell me if this is a Sunriser thing, but people really hate Aiden Markram. There are these people online who make videos specifically to bash him. And people forget the things that he's done. He's led us to our first final. He was the highest run scorer for South Africa in Test cricket in 2024. Did you know that? No, people don't look. People don't. It's almost as if people don't want to see him do well. And I'm very surprised because he's one of the nicest guys, and he's a selfless kind of captain. He will make the sacrifices that needs to be made. So I don't know if people have something against Aiden Markram. Please tell me. Super chat, apparently I can't do that unless I have a certain amount of hours on YouTube. Guys, forgive me. Maybe next time I'll do it, but the technical side of things, it's not really my strong point. I went to film school. I did acting and writing, none of the technical things. Those are only who watch IPL. What do you mean, Aiden Markram? Okay. See, I'm telling you, it's IPL people. I love Aiden Markram. What is the X on my forehead? It's my hair, yo. Let me see there. I'm kind of liking it. I think I'm going to start bringing this in. My hair is actually naturally curly, so it does exactly what it wants. About my South Africa win too, it's a very complicated prediction. When will South Africa produce another AB? We already have. I think Stubbs has the potential to be 360. I think Theobald Brevis. You look at Lohandre Pretorius, and he reminds me of Quinton de Kock. So we're very blessed at the moment. Anna de Armas. Oh, good. I'm not the biggest Anna fan, but I'll take it. I know people love her. Any more question? India versus Pakistan, 1 versus 3 spinner in Dubai. Yeah, I'm the most excited for the matches in Dubai. I think the pitches are gonna, give plenty for the bowlers, for the spinning department. The seam bowlers have been doing really well there in the T20. What's it, ILT? Also, the ODIs played there by Scotland, I think, was one of the teams. UAE, Canada, maybe those 3. The seamers took a lot of wickets, but it's definitely going to spin as well. I think I agree with Gambhir. I think having a handful of spinners is a good option to have. So I think Pakistan are lacking a bit in the spinning department, but they've got some really good quick bowlers. Shaheen Shah, Afridi, Nazim Shah. Is Harris Rauf out of the tournament? Does anybody know if Harris Rauf is out? I would like to know that. If Harris, please stop Australia. Oh, somebody asked me about the World Test Championship. I think a lot of people are going to underestimate us, and that's fine. We don't mind that. I think we have the kind of bowling attack that can at least compete with Australia's bowling attack. So I think that's quite big for us. I think our batters have scored a couple of centuries in the last year or so. So I think, every day I'm thinking about it. So I'm really hoping that we could shock everyone. I'm telling you, nothing would make me happier than us winning the World Test Championship. That is my biggest dream. I will probably cry, run into the ocean. I don't know what I'd do, but I'd be incredibly happy. New Zealand, India, Afghanistan. That's exactly my team. And that's Akash Chopra's team as well. Actually, I wanted to mention some predictions. Some famous people mentioned some predictions here. We've got Deepdash Gupta, who said India, Pakistan, Australia, and England. What do you guys think of that? So he's not giving Afghanistan or South Africa or even New Zealand a chance to go through. So I thought that was quite out there. I think New Zealand is one of the stronger teams coming into this tournament. Yeah, Akash, I've got the same prediction as that. Although I think our group is very difficult. Australia, England, South Africa, Afghanistan, it's very difficult. It's probably going to be decided on the last match, which I think is South Africa versus India, maybe. SA20 performing newcomer except Mapaka. Yeah, I'm also a bit worried. I'm very worried for the future of South Africa's spin attack. I'm not really seeing a really great kind of like leg spinner that might replace Shamsi. The quick bowlers, there's Tristan Lees, there's a guy called Van Vieren. Yeah, there's a couple of guys in the quick bowling department that I think, yeah, I know that is pretty good. I have seen Jake Jenkins. Is it not Jennings? I've seen Jake. He's the Australian guy, right? That sits with his Australian shirt in India. Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. Yeah, it's funny sometimes. I think Bosch is the best option. Oh, Fortain. What is your question about Fortain? I like him, but he had opportunities in the UAE, Fortain. He had opportunities in the West Indies where the pitches, they turn. Those are really good turning pitches, and he didn't bowl that well. He didn't take a lot of wickets. He didn't get the ball to purchase a lot. So for me, I'd always pick Linde, George Linde. I would pick him from now on above Fortain. I think he's a lot better than Fortain. Also, he can bat. So that's my question for that. I have somebody who helps me with data, but I kind of tell him to look for it. I also look for a lot of things on my own. Yeah, I woke up early to watch that boxing UFC, is it? Yeah, it was the first one I ever watched. And he broke the guy's nose. Goodness me, that was hectic. Yeah, SA needs better spinners. I agree with you. I'm quite concerned over our spinners. It's also just strange for me. If you look at the T20 rankings, 9 or 8 out of the top 10 are spinners. So I don't know why young kids don't dream of becoming spinners, because the spin bowlers are the most threatening in the shorter formats. So somewhere I would have to get on a bus and I would have to go to schools and I would have to find them, because it doesn't seem to me like CSA that they're finding any of these spinners that are out there. Yeah, George Linde, I also agree that he should have been there. 14, honestly, AB de Villiers. What kind of statement is that? AB de Villiers is more popular. Yeah, but remember with Australia, in the ODI World Cup, we beat them in the group stage, and then South Africa, we beat them handsomely in the group stage. Their full team, and then obviously we lost against them in the semi-finals. South Africa versus Australia in the semi-finals. I don't know. I need to somehow take up witchcraft and start doing some magic spells, because South Africa versus Australia. Yeah, about South Africa versus Australia. I think that's going to be interesting. I think, Rawalpindi looked a bit better than Karachi, but Karachi looks like a proper highway. It's going to be interesting to see South Africa versus Australia. I think on paper we're a better side than Australia. I think our batters are better. We have Rabada. It's going to be a big tournament for Jansen. Look, South Africa should win Australia. But as we know, when South Africa play Australia, You don't really know what to expect. Jonty, Stain, Rhodes, AB Fuff. Yeah, Jonty Rhodes. I was a big fan of him. I used to, in my swimming pool at my parents' house back in the day, I used to throw balls against the wall and try and catch it like Jonty Rhodes. I would do that 1,000 times. I promise you, I would do that for 2-3 hours just because I wanted to be Jonty Rhodes. He was one of my heroes. Brickleton and Rowett opening in Mumbai Indians. Yeah. My goodness, the Mumbai Indian team look so strong. And now that they've got Trent Bolt back, I mean, it's unfair. That's all I can say. I'm kind of what are some of your IPL teams, people? Do you support IPL? Like what are your teams that you support? I'm a DC fan, but I'm probably also I'm an LSG fan this year because Brezka, Markram, and Miller are in the squad for LSG. So I'll probably, and Stubbs, one of my favorite players, is playing for DC. So I also always love Ricky Ponting's teams, and I saw that he got Janssen. So I like the look of Punjab. Ashdeep Singh is also one of my favorites. What are your IPL teams? Hey, fellow KKR fam. There we go. Wow, a lot of KKR. Also a very, very, very strong season. Look, Australia, we can never count Australia out. Australia is at the end of the day, Australia. So I am saying this as well with Dave. I agree with Dave. BCCI, I think India are not realizing what a massive advantage it is for New Zealanders, South Africans, Australians, English cricketers to go and play all around the world. We're surprised that New Zealand won 3-0, but their players are fantastic against spin because they get to play in all of these areas around the world and they get better at playing spin. Imagine how Indian batters, sometimes Indian batters, it's a lot less now than it used to be, but like a proper short ball on a really juicy pitch. You know what I'm saying? Imagine Indian players go and they play the Big Bash or they come and play the SA20. The batters, they will pick up so much knowledge. So yeah, I think it's a big mistake, especially if you've got players who are only playing the T20 format. Why can't they go and play in leagues around the world? I think it'll do your batters the world of great, but I mean, it's up to you. Are there any upcoming wicketkeeper batters in South Africa? Luandre Pretorius is actually a wicketkeeper. He didn't wiki because Dinesh Karthik wiki-keeped. Rickleton is a wicketkeeper. Klaasen probably has a few years left. Yeah, we've got a couple of wicket keepers. We always produce really, really great wicket keepers, so not worried about that. I spoke about the 4-3-5 this morning. I was home. I was so sad. I was young. I was so shocked and sad out of my system, the 4-3-5. My dad was like, I have to say this now, my dad was like, fuck this. He was, mad, because it's against Australia. Angry, mad. My dad went for a nap. I just decided to lie on the couch and just, watch. And then it just happened. And it kept on happening. And they just kept on going. And Herschel Gibbs. And I went to go and wake up my dad. And it's still the greatest cricketing day of my life. The only thing that could top that is if we beat Australia in the World Test Championship. But that was, I would love to have a day where I just get some friends together cricketing, a lot of cricket, all of us, if we can watch that game together. That's it. My dad even has it on DVD. To all the kids here, DVDs. Go and Google what a DVD is. Kohli prediction in Champions Trophy. I don't know about Kohli. I think he can do well. I feel like for him and Rowett, they have to do well in this tournament, or else will they play the 2027 ODI World Cup? That's the question, because it's in my country. I would love to see them come to South Africa and retire from ODI cricket here. So for me, I hope he has a good tournament. For South Africa, it's a mental hurdle. I think we crossed the semi-finals hurdle, and hopefully now we can get to a final again and cross that hurdle. Aniruddha choking. Oh, I hate it when people speak about choking. I think every single team in the cricketing world, I think everybody's choked, except maybe Australia. I can't think of a time where Australia choked. But pretty much everybody else, we've had our choking events. So I'm not a big fan of using that word, because if I tell other people, oh, you choke, they can just tell me about how my team choked. So yeah, but it's okay. I'm very used to people saying that. Highest run scorer for South African Champions Trophy, I think either Klaasen or Rassie van der Dussen. I think Rassie is going to play a big part for us in that tournament. Smith and Travis Head. Yeah, you look at Australia's batting lineup and it's so good. It's very balanced. Will they go with Matthew Short at the top? I guess so, with Travis Head. Then you've got Labuschagne, you've got Steve Smith. Now Australia, the batting looks really strong, and on flat pitches, anything can happen. Man of the series prediction, man of the tournament prediction. Somebody said it here. I'm going to agree with them. I'm going to go with my boy. I think he's got a shot to do it, is Heinrich Klaasen. He's coming in with really good form. He looks quite unstoppable, but he needs support. He can't be the lone ranger every single time. He needs people to support him. India, New Zealand, South Africa, Afghanistan. A lot of people are saying that now. I kind of said that as well, but in my group, anything can happen. My first World Cup is the worst World Cup. 1999. 1999, people. That was my first World Cup. Just want to get nauseous thinking about it. No, Brietzke is unfortunately not in our squad. And I said this morning to a friend, he deserves to be there, but who do you drop? We've got so many good batters. I'm sure he's in the minds of the selectors. We've been picking him for T20 tests, ODIs. So I think Brietzke, he'll have his moment. He will have his moment. But yeah, very proud of him, and he did really well. Oh my goodness, am I supposed to like people's comments? I didn't know. Sorry, guys. I'm very new to this. I'll get better at it. Okay, guys, I'm going to be on here for 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes. Then I'm going to watch the WPL. Is anybody watching the WPL? Some really, really good players there so far. Anybody watching the WPL? Yeah, Lance Klusener and Alan Donald. Alan Donald was one of my favorite players, and obviously Lance Klusener. Who are you supporting in the WPL? Yeah, I definitely need to relax now and watch a bit of WPL. MI women, okay, I'm fully DC. Yeah, Rabada and Janssen. I think both of them have a lot to prove in this Champions Trophy. They're both very talented, massive. Tim Southey called Rabada his bowler of the tournament. So I'm going to trust Tim Southey. I think he knows what the hell he's talking about. Please don't hate my team. I can't hate RCB, but I'm a Delhi Capitals fan. SA Bowling, fantastic. I'm watching because of Cup. Definitely because of Cup. Cup is my favorite South African female cricketer. Meg Lanning was always my favorite. Also Annabelle Sutherland, big fan. And Jemmy is actually my favorite Indian player. So it's a no-brainer for me to support the Delhi Capitals. Bowler of the team from Pakistan. Maybe Nazim Shah, maybe he bowled really well the other day. I'm also a big Wolfart fan. Risha Gosh Gardner in WPL. Do not take RCBDC. Oh, Punjab looks a very good team this year, and also they've got Ponting as a coach. Punjab, remember, they had the most money. I think Punjab is going to do quite well this year. Humor behind the name Ben Stokes. I think somebody said to me once that there is a joke about it, but I don't know exactly what it is. I love Ishmael. Yeah, Ishmael. Oh, I watched the final, the World Cup final, South Africa versus Australia at Newlands. And watching Cup and Ishmael bowling together was a dream of mine. And to watch them in the final, that was pretty amazing. So I'm a big fan. Yeah, look at people asking me. Janssen is in Punjab, so I will be supporting them a little bit. Ben Stokes is a curse word in Hindi. I don't know what the hell that means. Harmanpreet. Also, the MI women, they've got Amelia Kerr, which I think, actually, no, Ash Gardner is definitely going to be the player of the tournament, but I'm a big Amelia Kerr fan. She's so good. Yeah, now people want me to. I like the Punjab team. Also, Ashdeep Singh is my favorite Indian bowler. So, Natsiva Brunt as well. Yeah, the MI team is very good. Hayley Matthews, don't forget. Hayley Matthews. Very good team. Okay, guys, I'm gonna. Oh, goodness me. Okay, let's end it off on that. Hectic. Is that for Ben Stokes? Guys, what has Ben Stokes ever done to you? Let's be nice to Ben. Although in South Africa, Ben Stokes almost attacked. He almost attacked a fan in the stands because I think the fan shouted something to him, and through the gates. You should probably, if you Google that or YouTube that, you'll find a video. But some crazy stuff happened the last time England played here. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I will do this again. I'm going to post this on YouTube. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the chat. Thank you for your predictions. Thank you for being nice and asking me really cool questions. I love talking about cricket. I love speaking to people who love cricket. Good luck to all of your teams for the Champions Trophy. And yeah, maybe I'll do a live after a match, an upcoming match. Probably, definitely. Yeah, I'll decide about that. But thank you so much. See you all soon. Enjoy the WPL, and New Zealand, Pakistan, good luck for tomorrow, and everybody else. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Thank you. Bye.